Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're retackling a serious but incredibly important topic: how to survive a flash flood in the wild. Imagine you're out hiking, camping, or just enjoying a beautiful canyon, and suddenly, the weather turns. Flash floods are one of nature's most powerful and unpredictable dangers. They can happen with little to no warning, even if it's not raining where you are. A storm miles upstream can send a wall of water rushing towards you in minutes. Knowing what to do in this scenario is just helpful. It can be the difference between life and death. So, let's dive into the essential survival skills you need to stay safe. First things first, preparation is key. Before you even set foot on the trail, you need to do your homework. Always, and I mean always, check the weather forecasts. Look, not just for your immediate area, but for the entire region and upstream from your location. Pay close attention to any flash flood watches or warnings issued by the National Weather Service. A watch means conditions are favorable for a flash flood, so you need to be alert. A warning means a flash flood is imminent or already happening, and you need to take action immediately. A great tool for this is a weather radio, especially if you're in an area with no cell service. It can provide life-saving alerts. Beyond the forecast, study your environment. Get a good topographical map of the area you'll be exploring. Identify low-lying areas, canyons, dry riverbeds also, known as arroyos or washes and narrow passages. These are the natural channels where water will funnel and become incredibly dangerous. Plan your route to avoid these areas if there's any chance of rain. Also, identify potential escape routes to higher ground beforehand. Having a pre-planned exit strategy is a massive advantage. And let someone know your plan. Tell a friend or family member where you're going, your planned route, and when you expect to be back. That way, if you don't return on time, rescuers will know where to start looking. Now, let's talk about what to do when you're actually out there. You need to become an expert observer of your surroundings. Your senses are your best early warning system. First, look at the sky. Are clouds building up, getting darker, or moving in quickly? Are you seeing distant lightning or hearing thunder? These are obvious signs that a storm is brewing, but sometimes the signs are more subtle. Listen carefully. Can you hear a faint roaring sound that's getting louder? It might sound like a freight train or a jet engine in the distance. This is often the sound of a debris-filled wall of water approaching, and by the time you hear it, you might only have seconds to react. Another critical sign is a sudden change in the water. If you're near a stream or river, pay attention to its flow. Does the water suddenly get muddy or start carrying debris like twigs, leaves, and logs? Does the water level rise rapidly or the current become much faster? These are all red flags that a surge of water is coming from upstream. Don't wait around to investigate. If you notice any of these signs, it's time to move immediately. Don't underestimate the speed and power of moving water. Just 6 inches of fast-moving water can knock you off your feet, and a foot of water can sweep a vehicle away. So, you've seen the signs. You know danger is coming. What's the single most important rule? Get to higher ground. Immediately. Don't hesitate. Don't try to save your gear. Your life is infinitely more valuable than your backpack or your tent. Move away from the river, stream, or canyon floor as quickly as you can. Climb up the sides of the canyon or hill. You want to get at least 30 to 40 feet above the canyon floor if possible, because flash floods can be much deeper than you'd expect. Look for a stable spot that isn't a steep, loose slope, as heavy rain can also cause landslides. The goal is to put as much vertical distance as possible between you and the path of the water. And please, never, ever try to walk, swim, or drive through floods. It's incredibly difficult to judge the depth and speed of the water, and there could be hidden dangers underneath, like debris, washed out ground, or strong currents. The phrase, "turn around, don't drown," exists for a very good reason. It's the #1 rule of flood safety. If you're in a vehicle and get caught, it's usually safer to abandon it and move to higher ground on foot. A car can be a death trap in a flood. It's much better to be on a stable, high point waiting for the water to recede than to be swept away inside your vehicle. What if the worst happens and you get caught in the water? This is a terrifying situation, but you still have options. The first thing to do is try to stay calm and control your breathing. Panicking will only exhaust you. Try to orient yourself so your feet are pointing downstream. This is called the whitewater floating position. It allows your feet and legs to absorb the impact of hitting rocks and debris, protecting your head and torso. Use your arms to steer yourself towards the bank or towards an object you can grab onto. Look for things like sturdy trees, large boulders, or anything that seems securely anchored. Grab on and try to pull yourself out of the main current. If you manage to grab onto something, hold on tight. The force of the water will be immense. Try to climb on top of the object to get as much of your body out of the cold, fast-moving water as possible. This helps prevent hypothermia and reduces the force of the current against you. Once you are out of the immediate danger of the current, stay put. Don't try to cross back through the water, even if it looks like it's getting calmer. Floodwaters can rise again unexpectedly. Wait for the water level to go down completely. Or better yet, wait for rescuers. It's much safer to be stranded on a high point than to risk re-entering the water. After the flood is past, the danger isn't over. The landscape will be changed and unstable. Be cautious of mudslides, unstable ground, and downed power lines if you're near a developed area. The water left behind will be contaminated with all sorts of unpleasant and dangerous things. Avoid contact with it if possible. If you need to find your way back, be aware that familiar trails and landmarks might be gone. Your map and compass, or GPS, will be essential now more than ever. Check yourself and others for injuries and treat them as best you can with your first aid kit. Hypothermia is a major risk, even in warm climates. If you've been soaked in cold floodwater, get into dry clothes and try to warm up as soon as it's safe to do so. Surviving a flash flood is all about awareness, respect for nature's power, and quick, decisive action. Always check the forecast, understand your environment, know the warning signs, and have a plan to get to higher ground. Remember, your gear is replaceable, but you are not. When in doubt, always choose the safest option. Don't take risks with moving water. It's just not worth it. We hope these tips help you stay safe on your adventures. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Stay safe out there, and thanks for watching.